Hello and welcome back to this segment of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Charter One Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And you know, sometimes you'll do things or see things that kind of bring you back in your childhood, right? Some things that make you smile. One of those things always make me smile. My friend Brian Bunn. Brian, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, Keith.
I appreciate it. Of course, Brian, with Illuminate, this is one of those things that I got to tell you is awfully exciting, because to hear about the first ever Weenie Spaghetti Festival kind of makes me ask the question, how did this get started? Tell me the formation of thought that came here.
So we do Illuminate Houma once a month, second Tuesday of every month.
Right.
Saturday, sorry.
Right.
Where we put on a free concert to the public. And, you know, we have expenses with those things that sometimes aren't covered. So we wanted to find a fundraising avenue to help continue that.
Okay.
If you remember, we did an interview about Waylon Thibodeau.
Yes.
Where his instruments had been stolen, and we wound up raising some money to help him out. But one of the organizations that stepped up to help us was an organization called Flood the Love. So we wanted to put on an event to help repay Flood the Love for them extending their hand out in Waylon's situation.
Right, because they were very helpful with that.
So we started talking about doing a festival.
Okay.
And I believe it was either Philip or Mike from Nonk New that said, we should do a Weenie Spaghetti Festival. So from there, it just got planned, and here we go.
Wow. And so, you know, it's one of those things where, and we were talking about it, almost every one of us knew what Weenie Spaghetti was because we had it as a child.
Yes, we
right?
did. Yes, we did.
And quite frankly, there are some people that's their go-to as a child because, you know, when the babysitter came over back in our day when there wasn't home-delivered pizza, that's what was made.
Weenie Spaghetti.
Right? And probably in a really large batch.
Well, yeah, because we ate really large portions, which is why we're so rotund now.
That's exactly, rotund. I love it. Yeah, I'm not just big Bundy anymore. I'm rotund. And so it's just one of those things. It's really interesting. It kind of brings me back to, you know, the show that kind of spun off of The Big Bang Theory, which is young Sheldon as he gets older. But Weenie Spaghetti is like, although he's very particular about it, that's his thing. When they make it, that's, ooh, Weenie Spaghetti, right?
So I was not aware that young Sheldon, until you and I had this discussion, that young Sheldon was actually a Weenie Spaghetti fan.
He's a huge Weenie Spaghetti fan.
He must have a little Cajun in him.
That's exactly right. And so speaking of the Cajun aspect, Jay, you got to put that flyer up because it makes me, like, just to look at it kind of makes me smile. And again, you see where we've got butter dishes, for lack of a better term.
Well, and again, when we were younger, that was our Tupperware.
Right,
so when
even before Tupperware, which was in the 60s,
exactly
by the way.
Right. When you finished the last bit of butter, Mom cleaned it up and leftovers went into the bucket and in the icebox.
So when Mom and Dad might have had their event planned or whatever they were going to do, you got your Weenie Spaghetti, and what was left over went in there.
That is correct.
God knows you were fighting for it. If you had a sibling, it was a fight for who got it the next day and woke up or got home from school earlier, whatever it may be. So thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. And so I love the fact that you guys are always looking for options and ways to raise some money because it's all about helping people. And that's what your Saturday event's about.
Yeah, we're gonna try to raise some money to benefit both Illuminate and Flood the Love. Flood the Love is an organization that's founded by some folks right here in Houma in the Thibodeau area. Josh Garrett, Misty McElroy, Mike. I can't think of Mike's last name. Forgive me. But they set up a nonprofit after the storm to help musicians. And again, music. It always
it's our history. It's our culture.
It seems to come back to music pretty regularly, where I'm concerned, at least. So it's a really good organization. They don't do any annual events that I'm aware of, and they really stepped up to help Waylon. So this was a way for us to kind of step up and help them.
Yeah.
So, you know, the proceeds from this benefit will be applied towards them and Illuminate.
And so recap, if you don't mind, Waylon Thibodeau, probably one of the more famous musicians to ever come through Houma, was traveling, and someone
stole his instruments from the airport in Newark.
Where he was traveling.
Both of his fiddles, his pedal boards, cases, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
How have we done in recovery with some of those things?
Waylon has new fiddles now. We're able to raise enough money with the generous support from the Terrebonne Parish community and those who came in from out of town, along with Flood the Love. We
Yeah.
did it in one night. We didn't have to
Wow.
have a second benefit.
Wow.
And it was tremendous. People like Tab Benoit came out and played, Zach Sheremy, just numerous, Josh Garrett, a lot of the local guys came out, Seth, and it was incredible.
Yeah. And again, this is why it's so very important, because you guys spend the time and energy figuring out who needs the help, and they come to you. You know, I say we community leaders get asked that all the time. Hey, how can I get some help with this? And y'all have a way to be able to do that. And so for whomever it is that came up with it, Philip or Mike, whoever it was, about figuring out that we've got to do a Weenie Spaghetti Festival. We're excited about that. Jay, put it up one more time. Thank you so much. And so, again, I just want you to take a look at this. For all of you, those of you watching at home, watching online, YouTube, wherever it may be, Facebook, I want you to think about what it is that you see in this picture, because I got to tell you, we do lots of festivals, we do lots of pictures, we do lots of flyers. This is one of the most unique, I will tell you. And so I want you to kind of think about what you see here and what it is that we're going to talk about with this and a whole lot more. But Brian, I'm so excited that we are able to find ways to help people, to look for where is the need. And that's just one of those things. As a social worker in this community, I know there's a lot of need. I love the fact that we have different organizations that are interested, like Illuminate is interested in finding and partnering with other people about how to help, helping our musicians. Flood Love is one of those. There's lots of things that y'all do, and making sure that y'all have money in the kitty to be able to do that. And so I'm excited about this. So we're going to take a short break if that's all right. But when we come back, I want to talk about the festival itself and what people can expect and why we want to bring out the child in all of us to celebrate that. All right, guys, Brian's going to stick around. You do that as well. We'll be right back, right here on Bayou Time.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Parabon General Health Systems, modern technology and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker here in our own town of Terrebonne at Terrebonne Home Care, visiting with my friend Brian Bunn. Brian, welcome back.
Thank you, Keith.
And so, Brian, it's just one of those things where growing up in when we said festivals, everything was, when we go down, we were going to St. Joseph, we were going down to Lagniappe, and that's where we learned about great food and great fun, and now y'all are trying to continue some of these smaller renditions as we do some of these festivals. And it is now come up for the Weenie Spaghetti Festival. Jay, put it back up if you don't mind. So I teased on the end of the segment, last segment, to what do you see? But Brian, tell me about this, because this is where kids and the Weenie Spaghetti meets adults.
Yes. So if you take a look at the graphic that's up on the screen now, you'll see that there's a bowl of chili in the back, because there's a chili cook-off as well.
Right.
And a Bloody Mary in the middle. There will be a Bloody Mary competition. But the main focus, the big show, is the Weenie Spaghetti. So, yeah, I believe the graphic was at least assisted or done by Daniel Babin.
Oh, yeah.
Jam Up Marketing. He does a fantastic job.
Yeah, it really does.
And it's really unique if that we're aware of. We're fairly comfortable that there are no other Weenie Spaghetti festivals anywhere in the world. It'll be the first and only here in Houma, Louisiana, and we plan on it being an annual event.
Right.
And if you go to Google, believe it or not, and type in Weenie Spaghetti Fest, you'll see that this thing has been advertised all over the country.
Holy cow.
It's amazing.
Wouldn't it be amazing for so many people to say, you know what? I know where I want to be. And let's talk about the date and time, by the way, as well.
It's January 13th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yes. At downtown, at
downtown.
Court Square.
Court Square.
Yes.
Very good. Wow. So at the Court Square, because I got a feeling if there are people who are kind of checking that out on Facebook all over the country,
yes,
we may have some people
but it
thinking,
wasn't just Facebook. It was national news
national
outlets.
news.
Yeah.
Okay. Holy cow.
Yeah.
This is exciting. And so, again, I think people see several different things. The kid in them sees the Weenie Spaghetti Festival and says, you know what? My mom makes it better than your mom, and we're going to go check that out. Or for those people maybe from the other areas, because when I think chili cook-offs, I think Texas.
Yep.
You know, because I think people in Texas, and this is a dare, by the way, some of my friends and family that live in Texas, come on down. If you think your chili's better than we got it down here in Louisiana, come on down and prove it for the chili cook-off. And for those people who spend a lot of time drinking, or for those people who spend a lot of time believing that they're their own bartender, come on down and see if you can make a Bloody Mary better.
We were actually
than this one.
contacted by a chef in the Texas area somewhere who wanted to know the actual rules of what container the Bloody Mary could be put in, because he's planning on coming to the event and enter the Bloody Mary contest.
From Texas.
From Texas.
As a chef.
Yes.
Well, and as you can tell, and Jay, put the flyer up one more time, as you can tell, there's lots of food options that can be associated with and can go into a Bloody Mary, right? A Bloody Mary may be the lagniappe, if you will, of all possible drinks.
The lagniappe, garden salad, and drinks. It's absolutely.
Because whatever you can put in a Bloody Mary, people do. They have some that put seafood in it, you know, celery stalks.
Absolutely.
I've seen so many different things, but again,
beans.
Yeah, beans.
You name it.
Yeah, lots of different options that go in there. And so really, really exciting for that.
Yes.
And look, I got to tell you, again, and the little kids that'll be excited.
And we're going to have a kids' corner where we're going to do noodle art.
Oh, wow.
Bayou Regional Arts Council is going to be out there, and they're going to be doing noodle art with the kids.
Wow.
And there may be a couple other surprises for the children once they're there. We'll see.
Okay,
We're
very
still
nice.
waiting on some feedback, but it's going to be a great event. And there's a $10 entry fee.
Which again covers costs.
It covers all your drinks. It covers not beer. That'll be done by Mahoney's.
Right.
But it covers the Bloody Marys, and it covers whatever chili or spaghetti you wish to eat.
Okay, it's a taste test
for the 5 hours. And
from
Nonk New will be performing.
Right. You had mentioned them, of course.
Yep.
A lot of the idea generated from them.
Yep.
So you know they'll be playing to the best of their ability when they're not eating or testing spaghetti.
That is correct. We'll have local artists set up with their artwork.
Wow.
So they'll be displaying their artwork as well.
Okay.
Anytime we have these types of events, we also try to get in, local artists and people like that to showcase their things.
Local band, illuminate local.
But but none of this would be possible if it wasn't for the HDDC, Miss Ann Pico, Explore Houma, and Sandra Corbett.
Yeah.
Illuminate Houma, of course, Spilt Liquor Productions, Daniel Babin, and those guys do such a great job. Mitch, Trahan, Manny Marlowe. Flood to Love, again, we're going to come out and give us a hand. Bayou Regional Arts Council. And Mahoney's, along with Nonk New, who will be there again.
Celebrating
so it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great event.
Yeah.
A lot of family-friendly stuff, and it's going to be a good time.
So January 13th, we can have people come out. Again, it's downtown, the Weenie Spaghetti Festival, but don't be fooled. It's also got a chili cook-off, and who can make the best Bloody Mary? January 13th, downtown in Houma, and right by the courthouse, in the courthouse square. Which again, we've got our pavilion out there, and all of the things that we're really trying to really help people get excited about for downtown. There's a lot of things to be excited about.
And one more thing,
there.
we're limiting the amount of teams that can be entered.
Okay.
And we're approaching that rather quickly. So if there's anybody thinking about it, please get your application in, because we don't want to tell anybody no.
Okay.
And if we get everything in early enough and it's more than what we had wanted, we'll increase it, but we do have a definite cutoff date, and I think it's next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. And where can they go to get more information?
If you go to Illuminate Houma's website, or if you just go to Facebook and Weenie Spaghetti Fest.
Weenie
You'll find
Spaghetti Festival.
all the information. Google anywhere you want to go. You can find it right now. It's unbelievable. The response has been incredible.
Well, again, when you come up with such a unique idea, and I'm glad for the guys from Knock New that came up with it, it's terrific. And certainly for you guys partnering with them and all of those partners that you have with them. We're looking forward to a great event. It's January 13th. I'm going to be around, which is awesome. I'm going to head out there, I promise. The kid in me says I have to. And so, Brian, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Keith.
We'll get as many people as we can out there.
We appreciate it.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV.